You are listening to Why Is That? Radio, where we gather your sorrows and return to the world a person whole, happy, and at peace. My dear, have you ever found it truly hard to speak your mind, or typed out a long message only to hesitate and never dare to send it? Perhaps these unsent letters hold the sincere words you're still keeping hidden. They remain there, quietly in your heart, ceaselessly. Is it that you no longer feel for the recipient? Is it that you don't have enough courage to send it? Perhaps you fear that your intentions aren't clear, afraid that once sent, they might misunderstand. Or maybe you worry those messages will bother the reader, or even more painfully, that the recipient is no longer in this world. But dear one, why is that? Radio, with its series Unsent Letters, will always be here to hear you tell of things you haven't dared to say, to send your words out into the universe on your behalf, so your heart may find peace. So don't hesitate to send those letters to Why Is That? And now, let's begin this radio episode. Here's the first letter sent from Luna. Is this what family is? I feel utterly exhausted. For everyone else, home is a place of healing, but for me, I don't understand the true definition of a warm home. My parents divorced, and I live with my mother, grandmother, and uncle. But every day when I return home from school, my heart feels heavy, because often I ask myself, why must my life be so hard? Everyone in the house is like a stranger. Ever since Grandpa passed away, everything has been completely turned upside down. Grandma is constantly steeped in negativity, Mom is too meek, never daring to say what she thinks, and then there's Uncle, a person who makes me feel utter shame and resentment. He said, "Why can't you even rent a house for the three of us? Where's the money? Why do you have to keep up appearances with your ex-husband?" Mom just stands there, and I can't do anything but cry in bitterness and resentment. I feel suffocated every time Uncle comes home. Bitter because I'm powerless. If I just say one word, I'll immediately get slapped by him and get yelled at by Mom. I wonder why everyone likes to maintain that perfect facade for outsiders. Every time Grandma is sick, I see Uncle asking about her when relatives are around. I just want to go far, far away because I cannot accept this hypocrisy. I don't understand what family is. The second letter is from someone nicknamed Melon Friend. Grandma, I'm sorry I don't visit you often, nor do I say loving words to you like the other three. I didn't even cry at your funeral. I don't know why. When I saw others crying, my heart ached so much, but why couldn't I cry, Grandma? I just sat silently, looking at your picture, and I thought so much. Is it because I didn't love you enough, or am I just heartless, Grandma? The third letter is from Tina. Grandma, are you happy up there in heaven? Because I'm not. I miss you so much. I remember the days when we, Grandma and Grandchild, would go to the market together. I would always run ahead, urging you to go faster, not knowing then how difficult walking was for you. You would lean on your three-legged cane, moving slowly. I remember the afternoons I slept with you, even though the other grandchildren didn't like sleeping next to you. I was different. Perhaps because you raised me from a young age, no matter what, I always loved sleeping with you. I even remember the times I'd tell you stories. Even though you didn't know the characters in my stories, you'd always caress my head. Those were the happiest days of my childhood. Now, whenever anything happens, just thinking of you helps me carry on. I want to see you, to confide everything to you, but I can't. Can we meet just for a little while in a dream, Grandma? I've kept my promise to you, but you're not here beside me. Let's meet in my dreams, Grandma. I miss you so much. The fourth letter is from someone with the nickname A Drizzle. A letter I wrote to Dad, but didn't have the courage to send him to read. I've kept it for a long time. I don't quite remember what Mom and Dad used to argue about when I was little, but as I grew older, I understood what and who their arguments were directed at. Both Mom and I find Dad to be very hot-tempered, and of course, so am I. I'm like Dad, so I also get easily annoyed by everything. However, my annoyance is different from Dad's. I'm introverted, so whenever I get annoyed, I don't talk to anyone. But every time Dad gets annoyed, he makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know who was right or wrong in Mom and Dad's arguments, but Dad's snarling voice when he's angry makes me wish I were deaf rather than hear it. It's so unpleasant and doesn't achieve anything. People say to emphasize important points, but Dad's way of emphasizing things in anger makes what he says even harder to understand. Furthermore, whenever Mom and Dad argue, Dad often dismisses the other person's opinion. If Dad can show why the other person is wrong, then clearly Dad is right. Why must he always say, "I don't care," or "I don't know," then add a big but? If Dad has already said he doesn't know or doesn't care, then whatever comes after, but is clearly meaningless. The word I hate most to hear Dad say is "that's enough." Not that's enough, in the sense that things have gone too far and need to stop, or anything like that. Dad's that's enough is what he says after refuting for himself, then ignoring the other person. He doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to care. Don't you think you're selfish, Dad? You've shown that you're so selfish you don't want to receive the other person's opinion, snarling that you've done nothing wrong, then saying, that's enough, you talk too much. If I also told you that's enough because you talk too much, how would you feel? It's both rude and annoying. Mom and Dad argue even at night. Perhaps you both think I can't hear. My room, which you hired someone to build, is a partition, not a brick wall, so the soundproofing is poor. I hear everything you say. There are nights when I'm mentally ready to fall asleep, and then you two start arguing again. I can't sleep. I feel uncomfortable and annoyed. Dad also often shrugs off his responsibilities to the family. What's your definition of dependent, Dad? How is your dependence different from relying on family? Isn't family the first place one should turn to for support? Or do you no longer need that support? The more I learn in class, the more I see how your definitions of responsibility and family deviate from what people usually teach and sometimes even contradict society. Housework is something that both Dad and Mom and the children should do and share together. It's not just Mom's job while Dad only earns money. Mom also earns money, and I will too someday. Money, whether little or much, is hard to earn. Whether it's a lot or a little, isn't its purpose to support the family and have a warm, well-fed life? Or do you have some other goal you're secretly harboring? I envy my friends for the way their parents show affection to each other. I know it's not good to compare, but you and Mom are clearly becoming less harmonious day by day. I have eyes and ears, Dad. Grandma and Mom keep telling me not to worry, but how can anyone pushed out into the middle of a rainstorm forever pretend not to be wet? The fifth letter is from someone with the nickname Spring Onion. June 18, 2022. All day today, I couldn't stop thinking about my home. Dad isn't young anymore. I've always believed in the special bond between a father and daughter, because it's true for Dad and me too. On my worst days, I always call Dad, but almost always, when I'm happy, I let Dad's calls go to voicemail. Dad's messages to me aren't many, but they are all my motivation. If anything sad or frustrating makes me want to cry, I call Dad. He just tells me, "It's okay, my child," and I immediately feel so much better. I'm only ready to cry when I call Dad. That day was a Wednesday. I took the bus to the station to go home, but when I stopped at the bus stop, I received a message about an urgent work matter. That whole week was terrible, and I really just wanted to go home, but my desire to return and rest was completely extinguished. At that moment, I really didn't know what to do. I stood crying at the bus stop. If no one had been there, I might have cried louder than the rain. I called Dad. Dad asked if I had gotten on the bus yet, and so I sat crying for 20 minutes at the bus stop. I didn't know what to do but cry. I was just tired. I didn't want to grow up. I wanted to go home. I thought I'd be okay once I got home. And yes, I was better, but not completely okay. Everything reverted to that terrible state, just like that week. When I returned to Hanoi, I was exhausted and felt nauseous because my spirit was tired, and so was my health. Yesterday, I had lunch with Dad. Dad always asked me, "Why do you eat so little? Where will you get the strength to study? Do you want to eat? Dad will cook for you. Do you still have money?" All these questions from Dad truly make me feel like I'm still a child. I still like stuffed animals, still drink milk, and Dad always buys those things for me. The more childish I seem in Dad's eyes, the faster I want to grow up, because Dad isn't young anymore. He needs rest, and I'm still too carefree and thoughtless. I miss Dad even when I'm at home. I've never said, "I love you, Dad," but all my wishes are for Dad to be healthy and at peace about me. Next is a letter from a friend nicknamed Hopefish. I hope Mom and Dad will love me more than before. I know that the affection between you two has been fractured for a long time. I know that compared to my younger sibling, I'm just an older daughter who will eventually marry and move away. Because I love you, Mom and Dad, I always tried hard to study so I wouldn't be left alone. But when did my efforts stop being appreciated? I'm so stressed about my grades. I'm afraid if my scores drop even a little, the family won't pay attention to me anymore. What I mean is, Dad's shadow is too large, so large that his silhouette completely occupies my mind. As a child, I only chased it but could never catch up. But Mom, no matter what, I can bear this pressure. What I truly yearn for isn't the vast world outside. I just want our family to be together. The final letter will certainly stir special emotions about family within you. We hope that reading these unsent letters will help you feel a little more at peace. And now, the last letter comes from Pono, with the content, I miss Dad. I remember the days when the Vice District Chief's house had a stall selling fragrant, warm, smoky steamed buns. Dad, you're gone now, aren't you? My eyes, hands, and feet are numb. Dad, you're gone now, aren't you? A memory of Dad's voice. Why are you still rambling about old stories? My whole life, all I ever did was love your mother, you know? How many more decades does life have left, huh?